Hello dear friends and welcome to my channel. My name is Paulina and here on my channel it is all about fragrances. In today's video I'm going to be talking about the selective fragrances from the house of Estée Lauder. I got samples like this and I'm going to be talking about these 8 fragrances in today's video. If you're interested, please stay with me. I'm going to start with 4 fragrances, and the first fragrance is going to be Tender Light. Tender Light. The top notes are Chinese tea, the middle note is bergamot, and the base iris from Tuscany. I have this small sample. I already have these 4 fragrances on different sides of my arms, so I wanted to share with you my first impressions. So Tender Light, indeed very tender and very uplifting fragrance. I think it's one of the most characteristic fragrances of the tea direction. Some time ago I did a video about the tea fragrances. I'm going to put the link in the description. I think it is a typical tea fragrance with a little bit bitterness, with a little bitter touch, and also citrus opening. Well, bergamot is listed here. Bergamot also has bitterness in it. And because of the iris, this fragrance becomes powdery. So I already feel this powderiness. But also, some tea fragrances tend to be powdery as well because of the consistency of tea. I think this one, although all of these fragrances are listed as unisex, this one goes, for my taste, in the feminine direction. It is bright and spring-like, very cheerful, delightful. It is an uplifting summer, spring, refreshing fragrance. More feminine, I would say. The next fragrance is called Paradise Moon. All of these fragrances were created in 2021. Paradise Moon, the top note is osmanthus, the middle note labdanum, and in the base leather. So Paradise Moon, I have it on this side of my arm. I think what I feel now is already kind of dry down of this fragrance, although I put it like half an hour ago. The opening was quite fruity because of the osmanthus. Osmanthus tend to have this apricot-y suede touch. And yes, now I feel it again. I put a little bit more of the fragrance. For me, it has a little bit old school touch to this, as though you would open an old fragrance of your grandmother and sniff in the bottle. It has some old school touch in it, some intense fruitiness, although it's not really sweet, but a very intense fruity. In the dry down, it has something smooth. It becomes very smooth, but I think it's not very long lasting as I can judge. For me, this fragrance is more of a masculine fragrances. It would be pleasant for me if a man smelled like this. Paradise Moon, maybe it is more of an evening fragrance. I wouldn't buy this for sure. It's not really my taste, but it's quite pleasant. The next fragrance, I tried this one actually in the shop from the bottle and I quite liked it. The longevity was quite nice. I could smell it on my skin for 3 hours, and I'm talking about Dream Dusk. Dream Dusk. I have it here on this arm. Dream Dusk. The notes listed here are in the taupe, cherry blossom in the middle, cassis blossom, and in the base geranium. This is something new for me. I never saw geranium in the base. And I quite enjoy this one. It is very romantic floral fragrance. Actually, I would suppose that musk would be listed here, but it's not. For me, it is this typical creamy, floral, musky scent. Quite feminine, well, actually very feminine, romantic, and yeah, very spring and summer like. I would definitely wear it during the spring and summer. Yeah, romantic and uplifting and quite playful, quite girly, I would say. The next fragrance I would like to talk about is called Desert Eden. The top note is sandalwood. It is quite special because sandalwood is usually used in the base. Here it is in the top, in the middle Turkish rose, and in the base olibanum. So I'm going to put it here on my arm. So for my nose, it is quite a pleasant combination between woody notes and very opulent, rich rose. I think it is quite typical, quite characteristic Arabic, Oriental fragrance. There are many Arabic fragrances with this kind of direction, woody and opulent, rich rose. I think this one is for an evening wear. I would definitely wear it in the evening, not during the day. And for my taste, it goes more in the masculine direction. It is quite warm, quite sensual. It has this richness of this opulent red, maybe even dark red rose, and warming sandal touch. Quite pleasant, and yeah, I would definitely like smelling this from a man. So Desert Eden, a very interesting, pleasant fragrance. And I'm going to talk about Infinite Sky. This fragrance was created by Dominique Ropion, a very famous perfume maker. And Infinite Sky. So I have it on my hand here, on my arm here. What are the notes listed here? Citron pepper in the top, Madagascar vanilla in the middle, and leatherwood in the base. If I'm honest, I didn't like this fragrance at all. It is not my taste at all. It is very intensive. It has something unpleasant in it. It is, you can smell the vanilla in it. It's not a sweet girly vanilla. It is an adult vanilla. But some green note is so disturbing to my nose. And for me, this fragrance goes in a masculine, definitely in a masculine direction, although it has this vanilla touch. In the dry down, I can detect quite strong leathery note here, and maybe because of this leatherwood, it's a plant. It has something. This fragrance has something green in it, and my nose just doesn't agree with the smell. The next fragrance is called Blushing Sands. The top notes is vetiver, the middle notes rose, pink pepper, and in the base musk. So I have it here. For my nose, it is a pleasant fragrance, also a quite masculine one. I can't imagine wearing this. I don't like masculine fragrances. And this one is it's quite pleasant. It has some dry touch in it, some dry herbs, like a hot wind. So I think the name of this fragrance, Blushing Sands, it has something from this warm touch of warm wind going through the desert, something like that. It is quite sensual. Now in the dry down, it's not only vetiver, it has also some animalic touch in it. Some woody touch, quite pleasant, but for a man. So the next fragrance is called Radiant Mirage, created by Quentin Bish, very famous perfume maker. So in the top note, jasmine; in the base, in the top note, jasmine; in the middle, sandalwood; and in the base, patchouli. I quite enjoy this fragrance. It is very floral, not sweet, but very sensual. It is a sensual jasmine combined with very nice patchouli touch. So it is a nice twist between indolic, really opulent jasmine and patchouli. If you like jasmine fragrances, quite natural, quite nature-like jasmine, like you would smell it from the jasmine flower. If you like jasmine, you have to try it because it is quite pleasant. It is very close to nature. I quite enjoy this. But if you are not jasmine lover, probably you would like it. I would wear it in the office because I think, in my opinion, patchouli fragrances are very suitable for day wear in the office. I don't think this fragrance might suffocate anybody. It is quite pleasant. I quite liked it. And the last fragrance that I would like to talk about is called Sensuous Stars. I have it here on this side of the arm. Sensuous Stars. This is also a very pleasant one. So the top note is Chinese plum, the middle lavender, and in the base orris root. I think this is a very nice twist between fruity sour touch of the plum. I can't really detect a typical lavender here. My nose just doesn't agree with lavender in fragrances. I don't like it too much. But here it is just a little hint, just a little touch of some creamy, maybe very light lavender that you would maybe detect in some shower gel or something like that. It goes more in a pure, clean direction. Quite interesting combination. I think this one is one of the fragrances that I quite enjoyed. So this were the 8 fragrances from the selective range of Estée Lauder. My top one would be Dream Dusk, I would say. I enjoyed that the most. I also enjoyed the Sensuous Stars. I think this is a very special combination. And what I also like is the Radiant Mirage. Quite pleasant jasmine, jasmine fragrance. Please share with me your thoughts about these fragrances. Have you tried them? Which one is your favorite? Yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it was interesting for you. And see you soon in the next video. Bye bye!